Do you ever feel like the more you grow your business, the more profits you make, that you're just paying the tax man more? And here's the thing, the truth is you are. However, you need to be smart on how you strategize to minimize that tax. A lot of clients come to me and they say that they feel like they're just working for the tax man. The truth is, if you're making more profit and you're making more revenue and the business is going well, overall, you're going to come out in a better overall net cash position after tax. However, you could be in a better position. And so what do I mean by that? There are 3 things that I would be looking at to make sure that you're in a much, much better position. The first one is looking at your structure. Now, this is 101 when it comes to tax minimization as well as asset protection. It has a vast amount of positives and opportunities to ensuring that you're in the right structure. Now, an example is that we come across so many businesses, mainly in the e-commerce side, where they're scaling so quickly. In a couple of years, they've gone from $0 revenue to $3-4 million of revenue. And when we come across this business that is profitable, we often find out that they're running as a sole trader. And what does this mean as a sole trader? 1, you're open to risks and liabilities much more than, let's say, if you were in a company. And 2, any profit that's actually within that business is going to be taxed at your personal marginal tax rate. And then it gives you the feeling that as you make more profit, you're just paying more and more to the tax man. And unfortunately, that's right. So as you go up and you start reaching the highest tax margins, you're paying upwards of 47.5%, then you're feeling it and it's demotivating. So what you want to do is have a look at your structure and ensure that when you are restructuring, 1, you're going to a structure that allow you to align with your long-term business goals. So let's just say you restructure into a company. It allows you to be taxed at, let's say at this point in time, 25% of your profit rather than 47.5%. And then what will happen is that you can reinvest the savings into more stock, more marketing scale, and growing your business even further. So cash flow is key. The second part is when you are doing a transition from a sole trader to another structure, you got to be careful around capital gains tax and stamp duty or anything around that space in terms of paying tax dollars towards restructuring. This is where so many people get caught because they will do it and they won't get advice. They transfer themselves from a sole trader to a company or a sole trader to a trust. Next thing you know, they get audited or they haven't done it right. And that business, they're now paying $300,000, $400,000, $500 in tax and stamp duty. To get effective advice, you need to see an advisor in the space that understands restructuring. And if that's the case, they could recommend a structure or way of restructuring that could ultimately save you hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not defer a lot of the capital gains tax or even minimize it to an amount that you may not need to pay anything at all. And it's always worth a conversation because the biggest killer in the transition is not the time it takes to move from a sole trader to a company. It's going to be the tax associated in the move itself. So if not done right, it's going to definitely hammer you in terms of cash flow. The second part of it is make sure that you're doing tax planning before the end of financial year. Tax planning is simple yet so powerful. It allows you to identify potentially what your tax outcome is going to be for the financial year before it even ends. Then from there, you can use certain strategies and implement them again before the end of financial year to ensure that you're minimizing tax as much as possible. Now, the third part is cash flow projections and budgets. With this, it not only gives you an understanding of how your business is going to perform from a profitability and cash flow basis, but also it allows you to understand how much tax needs to be saved. With that clarity, with that confidence, you're able to make the right moves based on data. So what I really encourage business owners to do and to save tax and not have the feeling as if they're just paying more tax to the ATO is get the right advice and get it yesterday.